So, try to do this in one take again. In this video, I guess I'll start with the cosmetic-ish things I've done to my car, and I'll insert a video the outside of the car at some point so you can see what I'm talking about. But cosmetically, I kind of want to keep this car stock. I know it sounds completely against what you should do to tuning the car, or to playing with the car, or having a modified car, whatever you want to call it. But I kind of like that sleeper effect on this car. So on the outside, literally you really can't tell anything is done to this car. It's just sitting there parked. It has stock wheels, it's stock ride height. Only one clue, the exhaust tips are missing because I have essentially straight piped this car. There are no exhaust tips. I have OBX headers that go into a test pipe that goes into the factory back section of the exhaust, but after the factory resonator, once the exhaust goes over the axle, I just cut it. So it's just basically a straight pipe that points down at the ground, but you don't ever see anything come out the bumper. I probably end up changing that soon just because it gets kind of raspy, and I get nice pops and fizzes, but I kind of want something that's a little more subtle. So I might go 3-inch with the 3-inch muffler, factory exhaust look. So then it looks pretty much like a stock car again. Besides that, I bought the car. It had 20% tint on it, but that tint was purpling. It was literally purple. So I went and stripped that off. Took it to a guy, got some tint put on it, and it was okay, but it wasn't the best quality tint. So after about a year and a half, especially because the car sat for a while, that tint literally just started to fade. It was 20%, but after about a year and a half, it looked more like 50% tint, so it was almost no tint there. Then I went and got it stripped off again. Well, the story about the windshield is actually tinted too. The windshield, I bought it because I had a rock chip, so I went through insurance, got a new windshield. I said, hey, I didn't say anything at that point actually. They put it in my window. He called me up after he was done with it. He's like, look, it's done, but he showed me there was a hairline fracture in the windshield already. He's like, I don't want to give you this windshield and, you know, it cracks again in like a week, because that's what's going to do with this hairline fracture. I said, okay, so what's going to do? He said, well, I'm just going to bring you a new windshield. I said, okay, well, cool. Can you bring it to me? But before you bring it to me, take it to the tint shop and get tint put on. He's like, well, yeah, sure. What do you want? I said 35. So my windshield is tinted from top to bottom at 35%, which isn't dark. But when you accompany in other tints that I might have on the car, then it starts to get dark. Like right now, you probably can't tell because the camera can't see the windshield, but there's 35% on the windshield and 5% around every piece of glass. So the windows are 5%, back windows 5%, the sunroof's 5%, everything else is 5%. So the 35 with the 5% means it's pretty dark in here. But it's not unbearably so. That's the thing that confused me. I thought it'd be hard to see at night, and it's not really actually. I like it, which basically means you can walk up to each side of the car, and you really can't see nothing, the windshield, nothing, side windows, nothing, but you can see out just fine. Yeah. Other things I've done to the car. Honestly, like I said, not that much. I put an iPod dock in this car because this car has factory navigation, and I didn't want to get rid of the factory navigation. I don't use it a lot, but it does still work. I used to use my phone most of the time, but I didn't want to start messing with it just because it can be a pain to try to get that right. There's a different harness for the navigation than there is for a factory Maxima, and I didn't want to cut and stuff. Again, I'm a comfort freak, so I didn't want to bother that. So I just did a USA spec iPod adapter, and I can hook my iPhone up to it now, which is pretty cool. And control it through the steering wheel or the radio. Sorry, Valentine one's going crazy. I'm going through a little school zone right now, so it's a little. Your speed is this sign out front. What else have I done? For the audio, and you might laugh when I say this, I have the same sub I've had for the last 10 years. Literally, same sub. Rocker Fosgate Punch 212. It's in a bandpass box. so I can toss my stuff in the trunk and not worry about hitting the sub. That box is beaten. I don't know how, it's beaten really badly. It has scuffs, dents, cracks in the plexiglass, but it still works. Sub, same thing, you can't tell it's 10 years old. But again, in order to keep factory navigation, I didn't want to change the head unit. So PAC Audio, they make this bypass module basically for any Nissan or Infinity. It copies the signal going out from your radio, sends it to the factory amp and to whatever amp you want. So I have a second amp, only 200 watts, under my driver's seat that sends the power to the sub in the trunk. I wanted to be able to move that sub box in and out as I please. So the only thing that's running to the trunk is the speaker wire, which makes it easy because I'll just unplug the speaker wire, tuck it in the trunk, and toss the box out and have all my trunk space again. The reason I did that is because these cars, anybody who has these cars knows that the Bose sub sucks. It's terrible in this car. It's really, really bad. And I didn't want to keep that same bass, and not only that, but it was actually rattling pretty badly too. Not because of the blown was, but just because the whole deck moves up and down with the sub, and it was just really nasty. So I'm glad I got rid of that and put that Fosgate in here. The next step might be to add some speakers and tweeters, maybe. I don't know. It's a daily beast right now. 255,000, 14 miles on it. So I'm not pressed to do anything because it drives. One issue I did have, but I'll talk about that in engine mechanical in a second, was the MAF. But you know, these cars, MAFs, it's like buying oil. You buy it every other month, so whatever. Also, cosmetically, I've done, you probably can't tell in the video, but the shift knob was a normal Nissan shift knob, and I decided to go with titanium shift knob, a purple titanium, which, you know, was nice, but Devin not thinking about it, it's cold in the wintertime and it's hot in the summertime. So right now it's pretty warm. It's like a branding iron when you get into the car. On cold days it's like cold, and it has condensation on it. It's a weird feel, but it's a good look for the car. But literally everything else in this car cosmetically is stock. Nothing else has been changed. I haven't done anything. I may do some other things soon, but right now I kind of like the stock fuel stock look, because you know, when you get on it, it's kind of confusing people because they think it's a stock car. But yeah, that's the